Yo, what's good, everybody? Today is July the 14th, 2026. Most gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you, God, for just another opportunity to come together, celebrate, fellowship with one another. Thank you, God, for this blessed occasion. We ask you, God, that you bless our conversation. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Yo, what's good, everybody? Y'all come on in. Let me know whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. We're celebrating 6 years today. So congratulations, not to me, but to you guys, for rocking and being with your boy for 6 years now. Um, can't believe it. It was like Jay said, it was all a dream. Whoever would have thought that 6 years later we would still be doing this. But I appreciate you all. I say it often, if not every episode. We have no show without you guys. So I appreciate each and every one of you, all the viewers, all the comments, um, all the former guests. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you all. I appreciate it. And the best is yet to come. With that being said, I'm not the host tonight. We got the host that showed up. So I'm on the opposite end this evening. And I'm going to hand it over to my man, Bell.
Salute
What's
to
good?
you. What's the number on here, Marv? What's the number? What anniversary is this? This is number what?
6 years, six.
6 years? Okay.
Yeah,
Salute to that. It's a good
no
number.
doubt.
All right. I don't know. You've been doing this 6 years, but I wanna like go back. I want to take it back. So you came in. You came on. What you took your first breath on this planet? Like what? 10. What is it? 10, 18, 25? I mean, 75.
Yeah, that's my born. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you take your first breath. Usually, like I go back and I look at birthdays. It's not a astrology or anything like that, but I
Mm.
was trying to find some historical events on your joining. The biggest joint I could come up with, like the USSR, they tested a nuclear weapon. That's about it. That's the biggest thing that happened that year. So I forgot who had the number one record in the country at the time. So we're gonna throw that out. So we're
I know the
gonna
number one movie at the time in the black community was Mahogany. Billy D. Williams and
oh
uh Don
what's the
Ross.
Donna Ross? Oh, Donna
Yeah,
Ross. All
yeah.
right, so you got some I don't know, you came on some cool points. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Ladies man type joint, that fly shit. You ain't got no hair now, so you can't get the Billy D finger waves and shit like that.
No doubt.
Go ahead. Tell us about your tell us, let's start off like where you was born and some of your background growing up.
All
Like what
right,
was your
so
go ahead, you got it.
nah, you so like you said, the red carpet was rolled out at Beth Israel Hospital, 10/18/1975, right there in Newark, New Jersey. Um, uh, been in Newark all my life. As an adolescent, till I moved away. In
What year
90,
did you move?
I left
Where
in
did you move
97.
to?
I left in 97
Oh,
and moved to
okay.
Little Rock, Arkansas.
No, 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 no. You jumping too far now. We ain't going to 75 to 97. You
Yeah.
jumping too far. Slow
Nah,
it
nah.
down a little bit because you too many years in between. Like, it's like you came out as a baby, then you with that beard or something like that. Nah, you skipping
Nah.
something.
So you like
Take it back. Your school years.
born in Beth Israel. I grew up a church boy, of course. The living Jesus is coming, so I grew up in church. Um, went to my church school from kindergarten all the way to eighth grade. Maranatha Christian Academy.
Where's the church at?
Church is on Springfield. It was on Springfield Avenue.
Oh, the same church of our church right there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh boy, you was what you since kindergarten to what grade?
Eighth grade. So
They don't do it like that anymore.
nah, exactly. Um, and the only reason I didn't go to high school there, they didn't have a high school at the time. So fifth grade year, I did go to public school. That was the only year that I went to public school before coming to West Side. Uh, I went to Elmwood. I went to Elmwood my fifth grade
East
year.
Orange.
East Orange. Yeah. I was staying on Brookwood at the time, and that didn't even last the whole year. I wound up having to transfer back to, you know what I'm saying, Maranatha because of my younger brother. It
Which
was
one? Which
Eric, my
brother?
brother Eric. So the funny
Okay.
story was like we had we was living on Brookwood, right there off South Orange Avenue on Brookwood was on that side of Brook on the side of the street was considered East Orange. So we moved up the hill to where you knew me on Monticello, and my
Yeah.
brother they was asking he was in first grade, so you know it was adamant, you know your phone number, that's back in the day your address, and he wound up telling them our real address, and the school told us we couldn't go there because we was out of district, so we had to go back.
Joker
Hey,
snitching,
what's good?
man.
What's good? Drew said Bell looking like Deion Sanders.
Must be the
so
money.
so fast forward, I took the test to go to Arts High. I planned on going to Arts. That was my initial because growing up in public school, I mean private school, I didn't know anything about. I tell people all the time, I'm just from the hood. I'm not hood. I grew up a church boy, like I said. So I
Hmm.
was like, I wasn't really trying to get into the west side of the public school. I figured I go to arts. Arts, I'll be safer there with the arts and doing the fame type thing, and you know, exploring that event because I was a drummer. I grew up a church drummer in the church, so I
I
was going
tried the same thing, yo.
to use
I tried the same thing.
So I wound up passing the test to get into arts, but unfortunately, I wound up moving to North Carolina to start high school. So I figured, like I get a fresh start down there. They don't nobody know me.
What city? Well, hold on. What city in North Carolina?
I was in Wilmington. I went to Wilmington. So I started
Okay.
high school at New Hanover High School, which is a crosstown rivalry of Laney High School in Wilmington, North Carolina, which is the high school that Michael Jordan went to. Um, so it was a cool experience. Just getting familiar with that area, adapting to the South, and it was like, of course, I was like popular without being popular all of a sudden because
Yeah, 'cause you
oh,
from up north
yeah,
back there. You
of
got
course,
you got
the way I dressed and everything. So it was like, yo, who this cat? All the girls was like, who this? It was a big thing.
and
So
niggas wanted to roll your ass up too.
for real, I was feeling the heat, yo. I was feeling the heat for real. Um, so that only lasted 2 months though. And being that I didn't start the year at Arts High, Arts won't let you transfer in the middle of the year. So that's why I wound up at Westside. Um, Shout out to my man Ed Wilson. Rest in peace to Miss Catherine Jackson. The day I got my schedule, it was like fifth period. So I was scared. I ain't gonna lie. I was scared to death to go in the cafeteria. Like this was the first time I ever seen the school. Like the cafeterias on the third floor. And my first day, I don't know. I forgot what they called it, but it was like freshman week, whatever. I never forget watching them pass this freshman from the cafeteria all the way down the stairwell out the front door of the school or top of the crowd. Like I was like, yo, what? This is something insane. I was like, how am I going to survive? So that's when I got introduced to Mr. George. We had an assembly, and I wound up
Mr. George
playing.
was what teacher? I
He
didn't
was
have
the
him.
music teacher,
Okay.
big head dude. He played the trumpet and all that there because we didn't actually have a band. It was like six of us.
Hey,
Like
I
that.
remember. I know. Well, I remember there was like four people at one time.
Yeah. So we had this big assembly, and at the time, Arsenio Hall was the number one show in the world. So Arsenio, you every once in a while, he'd be like, "Yo, Chuck, give me some funk." And I forgot who was emceeing the show, either Troy or Al. Somebody was emceeing the show, and they said the same thing. And I started rocking the drum set, and the crowd went crazy. So after that, I was like, "Yo, pressure's off. I'm good." So for like my freshman year, everybody be like, "Yo, that's the dude for the drums. That's the dude for the drums. Ain't nobody know my name. That's the dude for the drums."
Man,
That's how it all started at West Side.
I came there sophomore year and I seen some jokers get rolled out for nothing, and they ain't never come back. They transferred to the moon. They ain't coming back. They ain't come to the planet no more. That's ridiculous, man. Like,
Fox said he played in the band at West Side.
he what?
Fox said he played in the band at West Side.
Nigga played the kazoo. I'm playing, Peter. uh, like who? Like some of your early years
Mm.
for West Side. Give me some influences at your grade school, and then taking on the West Side.
All right, so I would have to go all the way back to rest in peace. My very first teacher, Miss Ruth Anderson. She was like my kindergarten and first grade teacher. Um, and she was so pivotal. And I always, even as an adult, I would thank her. I could thank the actually her son Anton. We went to school from kindergarten through 12th grade. The only year that we didn't go to school together was freshman and sophomore year because he wound up moving to South Carolina, and when he came back to Jersey, he wound up coming to West Side. So we had the same homeroom. Like he's the longest friend I have that's still living from day one, as they say. But well, why she was so pivotal and so memorable to me because like her and my mom was close friends. She was known as a prayer warrior, but she was an excellent teacher. I don't to this day I don't know how she did it, but she taught me how to do math without ever using my fingers. Like I never counted on my hands. Like we couldn't do that. Like you had to formulate everything in your head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what her method was of doing that, but it was like super crazy to this day. Like even when I raised my sons, like when I would help them, not 1, 2, nah, you don't use your hands. You gotta do it in your head. You gotta do it in your head.
Hmm.
So she was real pivotal. That one year that I went to Elmwood, I had a teacher by the name of Mr. Colston. Mr. Colston, I didn't know at the time, but he was also a preacher. And he was real pivotal. I always remembered him. He dressed nice. He had a real nice demeanor about himself. He was real fair as a teacher. And then, of course, the late Bishop James H. Everett. I would probably say that he had the biggest impact in my life because it was like I didn't know at the time that I wouldn't use the word groom, but I was being prepared for where I was going in life. I had no idea that one day I would be a preacher. I had no idea that one day I would be a minister. I ran from it all my life. You know what I mean? But on Sundays, like we would have 2 services. We actually some Sundays we had 3 services. We have a morning service, we had an evening service, and in between we would go over to New York and have a service in New York. So it was like my Sundays was literally all day long in church.
You ain't watch no football game.
No. I didn't discover football until my teenage years.
Yeah. Now what like a memory? Give us a memory or something that he instilled upon you that stick to you till this
Man,
day.
it was so many. Like I said, I go back to those car rides between services over the way to New York. We would always stop at Burger King Burgers where the Popeyes is at now. It used to be Burger King back in the day. And I remember being in the back seat. And I would always be mad as a kid because I wanted to ride on the church van with everybody else. Hey, what's good, Danny? I always wanted to ride on the church van with everybody else, with all my friends and all the young people. But I had to ride in the car with him, and it was like I had no idea, like I said, what it was preparing me for. But I look back on those days and those memories, and it's like, wow, like God was preparing me for the future without me even knowing it, so to speak.
You
And
ain't know it.
yeah, and it's like you say, memories. What's crazy is I remember one day me and him and talking, and he literally told me, he said one day, as crazy as it may sound, he said you will prophesy to 1 million people. And I remember I might have been 13 or 14 at the time. And I remember saying, this is how long ago it was. I remember thinking in my head that like laughing, like, can't no church hold 1 million people? That ain't can't be done. And I didn't say it that way, but I said to him, I'm like, how can you get 1 million people together at one time? And he's
He
like,
saw the internet before you, before
listen,
everybody else.
listen, I'm telling you, brother, this is exactly what he said to me. He said, listen, they coming out with this new thing called the World Wide Web. He
It
said,
is.
and you will be able to, the internet wasn't even out yet. He said, you will be able to talk to people in China. You will be able to talk to people in Switzerland. You'll be able to talk to people all over the world. So what was you saying about 1 million people at one time? And it's like, I meant to do it before the show, but we well over 500,000 views just out of the 6 years that we've been doing this show. Like we literally over 500,000 views when I add up all the views between YouTube, Facebook. Like we well surpassed that number. I don't even know how close. We might be close to 1 million. So, you know,
Salute to that. If you watch it, salute to that.
yeah,
A
yeah,
man of
no
round
doubt,
of applause.
no doubt. So it was just I think back on, especially now doing the show, and it's like I think back to that, and I'm like, even like you said before, nothing that he has ever told me didn't come to pass. Let's put it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like it just baffles my mind. I miss him so much, but he was so pivotal in my life and growing up.
He hear you right now.
Yeah,
Like
no
watching
doubt.
on you. He probably watching on YouTube right
No, North
now.
Carolina had a deal like Georgia, very freaky. I'm not sure who that is. Wayne said, Big Fox said, what is your memorable moment as a team? Oh man, what is my memorable moment as a team? Okay, so uh one of my biggest moments, I would probably say like back transitioning and coming to West Side, it was like, how am I going to not be passed from the cafeteria on the third floor to the front? So I gotta find a way to get in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I went out. I actually went out for the football team. Now, mind you, you just talked
Hold
about it.
on.
I had no idea about football.
Did you play football before you went out for the football team? Just
Nothing
in the
other
street.
than street football.
All
Just
right.
street
So you had
football.
some.
That's it.
Nah, back street football prepared us for regular football. It wasn't like
So check
it's
this
not like
out,
we out on the
Coach.
little league back then.
Yeah, exactly. So I remember the day I met Coach Whips, and I told him I wanted to try for the team, and he said, "What position do you play?" And I kid you not, but I told him quarterback because that was the only position I had ever heard of before.
The
I didn't
hardest
know nothing
position.
about football or
The
what
most
quarterback did.
important, hardest position in sports.
Yeah. Yeah. So once I made the team, now I had to start watching football on Saturdays. I would watch like college football because I'm like, I gotta learn what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, what does a quarterback do? Like, I didn't realize that a quarterback got to know what everybody else does and mechanics and all this other kind of stuff. So my very first play, he threw me in at punt return doing our scrimmages. He threw me in at punt return, and I had just seen a few plays, maybe a couple months, and I'm looking at the ball and watching the ball. It's coming down. I wait for it to come down, but I see the defenders coming down to hit me, whatever. So I catch the ball, and I mean simultaneously, like in a millisecond. Next thing I know, I was opening my eyes. I was getting up. So I'm running back to the huddle. I'm like, okay, that wasn't so bad. Like it ain't hurt or nothing. That ain't so bad. So I get to the sideline, and Coach Whips looks. He said, "Listen, son." He said, "The next time you see those defenders, they crashing in on you. You wave your hand in the air like you just don't care."
He should have taught you that in practice.
Yeah, I didn't know nothing about a fair catch. I didn't know nothing about nothing. So that was cool. So then later on, I get to meet Algernon. I get to meet Troy. Al started
Salute
working
to
out with me
Al.
because Al was at the starting quarterback at the time. So Al would bring us back to the house. Shout out to Al. Shout out to Biz. Shout out to Rabu. You know,
Troy
Al had a
Davis.
whole bunch of people at his house. And then, me and Roddy linked up. Rich Matthews. So Al would just like literally teach me things step by step. Al would like took me on as a project. And that was my birth in the West Side football, man.
All right, we're gonna go back a little bit more. You gotta introduce your audience to the people, give them some information to people that brought you to this world.
Okay.
Mom
So
and pops.
yeah, my
You the
mom.
son of who?
I'm the son of Marvin Bennett and Gwendolyn Bennett. My pops, he was born in South Carolina, born and raised. He left in South Carolina when he was about 5 or 6 years old. Was raised in Bed-Stuy, Shepherd Avenue in Bed-Stuy, New York cat. Him and my mom, they met in church. Um, and next thing you know, here I am, and they just celebrated 51 years of marriage in December. So it's always a blessing to be a part of them. And the oldest of three boys. I got two younger brothers, Eric and Steve. Um, so take on it now. I come from good stock, man.
Salute to that.
Hold up,
Salute
real
to
quick.
that.
I said, how are you able to keep relationships with people that are not as godly as you? Um, That's a very interesting and good question, Fa. Um, the simple answer is I have no judgment. You know what I mean? I have no heaven. I have no hell to put people in. I don't judge people. I don't care what your orientation is, what your background is, what your color is. You know what I mean? I respect everybody. And I was having this conversation recently. I'm one of those people. People always say, you got to earn respect. I've never felt that way. Like I give you my respect automatically as an individual, as another human being. Now you could lose my respect, and it might take you a while to get it back once you get. But initially, I give everybody respect. So I don't really care how you believe, personally. Whether you're atheist, whether you're a Muslim, no matter what your faith is, you know what I mean. As long as you good people and we had good conversation and we got a good vibe, then I don't really have a hard time having a relationship with different people. I had Leonard on the show several times. Me and Leonard Salade, we've been rocking over 35 years now. Leonard is Muslim,
Oh,
and we've me and Leonard in 35 years, we've only had maybe one or two conversations about religion. That's it. Just think about it. As long as me and you know each other, how many conversations we had about religion?
we probably had them, but it's not like it's like
Yeah.
it really stands out. Love is
I,
love type of
and
thing. So
I think, like to your point, I think what it is about respecting other people's belief. You know what I mean?
mhm.
I'm big on that. Just because I believe in Christianity, doesn't mean that I always say it, and I say it on the show all the time. Like what you believe is what you believe, but it doesn't necessarily make it true. It's just what you believe. So therefore, I believe one thing. I'm not going to knock you, or I can't say I will never say I can't associate with you or have a conversation with you or a relationship with you because you believe differently than me. I respect your belief system just like I would expect you to respect mine. You know what I mean? Talking about don't forget Uncle Fi.
Uncle Five, like years apart, a couple of years apart. Hey, cousin Five, he can be cousin, he can't be uncle. I'm gonna jump ahead. Like I'm gonna start off saying take us back to the beginning, but what sparked the idea for the for your podcast? What sparked the idea
um,
for you to start it?
so the very first show was how were you able to survive dressing like Kwame in the hood?
Who
Very
said who
easy.
put that? Who said that?
You know who it is. You know who it is. I'm gonna get there. What was the question first? I'm gonna get to the you said what was the so the very first episode was June 9th, 2020. And it just so happened to coincide with the George Floyd homegoing service. And
Been that long?
yeah,
Damn,
yeah.
it seemed like yesterday.
And it was like what I felt like, at the time, this is when the lockdown started happening. Everybody had to be in the house by 5 o'clock all over the country, and it seemed like everybody was just so tense because we was
Sit
all
on edge.
COVID. We ain't had no way to communicate with each other. 6 feet. Did you take the shot? Did you take the needles? Did you take the juice? I can't associate with you if you didn't. And I got
I ain't take it.
you know what I mean?
I ain't
So
take it.
we was
Sorry.
going through all of
He
this, and nobody really had any answers. And I was like, you know what? I thought about, like I said, I'm a big fan of Arsenio Hall. I would watch Jimmy Kimmel, different late night shows, even if it was just the monologue. And it was like, like even in the midst of this, like these people, like celebrities, they get to go on this forum and they get to talk about whatever they want to. Why not? Since we all locked in and we can't see each other, why not create this platform where we come together and talk about what we frustrated about this COVID? Do we agree with the lockdown? Do we agree with the being in the house? How do we feel about everything? Just this tension and with the, like I said, George Floyd. Let's talk. The very first show I had maybe like 12 people on the panel. Like I had my youngest son on the show. I had an interracial couple on the show. I had somebody from Arkansas I'm the white man that I know from Arkansas on the show, and we were just talking about race relations in general, and just and the rest was like this history is like, yo, how can we keep this going? Like, you don't have to be a celebrity to come on this platform. You don't even have to know me personally to just come on the platform. If you got something you want to talk about, let's bring it to the table and let's talk about it. And that's how it really started. And we haven't stopped yet.
All right. That said, what was you hoping? Um, hoping that like when you launched it, what you was hoping for it to become? I know
Um,
that happened. That was happened. But what when you just like you just wanted to do it, or you had a vision saying, "I want to do this. I want to get to." What was you hoping to achieve when you launched it?
to be honest with you, I really had no expectations whatsoever.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Because
the people. Yeah,
even maybe I want to say I got to look at the timestamp, but I want to say maybe a month before I actually started the show, I was out there out on the porch one day just getting some fresh air, and I went live on Facebook and was like, um, I don't even remember who presented it to me at the time. I was like, yo, man, if I did a show, man, would y'all be interested in all that there? I did that as a post, just being funny, like not
yeah.
even being serious. And the responses, like the comments was like, yeah, man, you got the personality for it, man. All this other
I
kind of
heard
stuff.
that before. All you need for anybody that's listening, anybody here, all you need is person, one person to just to
Yeah,
co-sign it.
yeah.
That's it. You need one person because you like you be on the edge sometimes. That one person, and you just set it off like that. That's it.
Mhm.
I heard that before. Go ahead, finish.
Yeah, so it was like I said, as far as expectations, I really didn't have any expectations. I didn't have any goals, so to speak. But one of the best things, but one of the best pieces of advice I got from when I first started it was from my big brother Kev Danny, who's doc. He's been on the show very probably more times. Well, quite a few times. He at one time he was the most revisited guest on the show. But one of the things that he had told me was like, listen, he was like, something that he had came across was like when you doing these shows and podcasts and whatever, because podcasting was still kind of new. He was like, listen, don't get caught up in the numbers, don't get caught up in the views. Like if you set out to do it, whether it's one person viewing, whether it's 1,000 people viewing, just stay committed and get you a set goal to say, listen, commit yourself to 25 episodes or commit yourself to 50 episodes, whatever, and make sure you hit your target. Don't get caught up in the numbers. Don't get caught up in the views. Don't get caught up in none of that. Just stick to your number. And at the time, my goal was I said, you know what? All right, I'm gonna try to do a year. I'm gonna try to do a year, and then we'll re-gauge it in a year's time to see how things are going. Um, but I never really I never went back to that thought process of saying, let's see where we at. It was just like, let's just keep going. You know what I mean? We did a whole year. Let's see how far we could push this. Let's see how far it could last. Let's see how long the people will stay interested. You know what I mean? And here it is. Now we celebrate 6 years later.
What's like one thing that you was wrong about when you got started? That you thought was something, but you was wrong about it, and you just learned the lesson. You just
Um,
going through the process.
assuming assuming that people would stick to their word. You know what I mean? Like
What
with
guest not showing up?
and there's no shade at nobody and nothing like that there. But when I first got started, yeah, man, yeah, I want to come on the show and I want to do this and I want to do all of that there. And I'm taking people at their word, and then when it's time to do the show, well, man, I don't really feel good tonight, or I don't really feel like being on camera, and all these different things, and it's like I realized then that you can't expect people to value your time the same way that you do. You know what I mean? Or you can't expect people to uh, be like you will be. You know what I mean? In regards to that. So that
Yeah,
was a hard pill to swallow. And then it was like, okay, now what do I do when, okay, I've been saying that we're going to have this person on for the last week. And then the night of the show, they cancel. Like, how do
gotta
I
bring the
I had to start just coming up with other things and writing down notes throughout the week and things that I would want to talk about just in case that did happen, because it was happening quite often in the very beginning.
okay. You
Hold on,
think
let
you
me
when
get
you start?
these questions before they
Go ahead.
disappear. All right, so I survived very easily, Fi. And it was funny because one time Fi was on there, he said it. He was like, he's like, Marv, you always been solid, man. You always, and I knew he missed something by there. He's like, you was always you dress how you dress. And I'm like, what you mean I dress how I dress? Like, what's wrong with how I dress? You know what I mean? But to our own self be true. You know what I mean?
He's talking about Levi's and hard bottoms, yo.
And I was rocking them. People that West Side know I had the Boys the Men look before Boys the Men. You know what I mean? I would wear suits to school on a Wednesday. You know what I mean? Only thing I ain't had was the briefcase. They're like, what you dressed up for? Just because I want to. You know what I mean? So I always move to the beat of my own drum in regards to that. You know what I mean? He said, how do you feel about the changes in the city of Newark? I don't really know.
Demographically?
It's like I visit, but I'm not as in touch with it like I used to be. But I am surprised. Like I mentioned earlier, the first teacher at Westside that I met was Miss Jackson, Miss Catherine Jackson, the biology teacher.
Biology teacher. That's
Yeah,
one of my favorite teachers. My
yeah,
favorite
Miss
teacher
Jackson.
there.
So
And for
me
biology.
and Miss Jackson actually built a relationship over peer leadership. She was also my peer leader teacher.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Mine too.
So do
I was
you know that?
I was in the first group. I was the first members of Penn Leadership. I was in that first group.
I
First year.
remember talking about it all the time. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So do you know that Donna Jackson, that's on the city council in Newark now, that's been going
That's
as
her
a
daughter?
that's her daughter, yo. Word is born. I just found that out a couple of months ago.
Salute to that.
Yeah, that's
Salute to
Miss
that.
Jackson's daughter. And it's like, as I started looking at it, I'm like, she actually looked like Miss Jackson. You know what I mean? But I had no idea all this time that I've been following Donna Jackson. I was posting some of her stuff. I had no idea that was Miss Jackson's daughter, but that's Miss Jackson's daughter. And if you remember Miss Jackson, like you said, you remember Miss Jackson was bold and she stood her ground
Mm-hmm.
just like her daughter. So I'm like, I know she mad proud of her daughter, man.
She one of those teachers that cared about her students. She actually
Exactly.
cared about her students. You don't
Exactly,
really
man.
get that no more.
Exactly. Shout out to Miss Jackson. Shout out to Mr. Gas. Me and Mr. Gas are still close. Miss Cato, who I love dearly, and my main man Neil Pilata. Neil was so cool
Oh,
because me and Neil built a relationship outside of West Side. You know what I mean? He was my bowling coach, and I'm glad to still consider him a friend today, man. So shout out to Neil, man.
salute to
You
that.
said you passed that on to me, Mar. You always say don't get caught up with the numbers. Yeah, absolutely, man. You can't get caught up in the numbers because when you all right, so like Drew, to your point, we had different discussions, and at the end of the day, none of us we don't really do any. I'm talking about when I say us, I mean like the people that I know personally. Like none of us don't really do anything that our heart is not really into. So we really feel led to go out and do something. You know what I mean? Like you and Doc, y'all had your own company. Drew doing his things on TikTok and doing his sermonettes and giving his teaching lessons and all that did. When we doing it out of the pureness of our heart, because that's what we've been called to do, the numbers don't really matter. Because one of the things that like I said, growing up in church and then in the ministry that I did with my leader, I realized that your message is going to touch whoever it is supposed to touch. Like when God gave me something to share, I don't know who it's for. You know what I mean? I just share it. I don't know who it's for, when they going to receive it. You know what I mean? But I just know that it's going to be for somebody out there. And it'll be people that hit me up in the DMs that I know I've never even met. It was like, oh my God, that was meant tailor-made for me. So what I say is to God be all the glory. You know what I mean? Because I didn't do it because I said, you know what? Ooh, that's a gem right there. Let me get this out there. It's going to read something. No, it's a guessing game with me when I feel led to share something that God shit lays on my heart. So I don't know who it's meant for. I don't know when it's going to reach them. If it's in real time, if it's later on, if it's you know what I mean. But you can't get caught up in the numbers. Never get caught up in the numbers. When we play that like if it was all about numbers, I would learn that playing football for Westside. If it was all about the numbers, I would never play football because we would have 14 people in the stands and 3 of them was homeless. You know what I mean? But I love the game. I love my teammates. You
Oh,
know
them
what I
early
mean?
West Side
We
days,
couldn't get caught up
boy.
in the numbers and the cheers from the crowd, and we had to do it because we had to be out there because that's what we really wanted to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I was
the
never
love of
really
the
caught up
game.
in the numbers, man. And I would encourage anybody else that's want to start something or a business or entrepreneur. Of course, it's about making money if you're an entrepreneur and all that there. But make sure you're doing it for the right reason and make sure that you quality and that your heart and it'll come. If it's meant to be, it will come.
What advice were you had for yourself 6 years ago when you started it?
Um,
That you learned some lessons you learned besides.
always, always have a backup plan.
Okay,
Always have a backup plan just in case.
you
Or
got to you got to
you
gotta
know,
have the Sandman ready to come out and dance if it
yeah.
don't go.
So it's like a lot of times, what I like I said, what I'll do is I got like literally it's over 10 of them right here now. I got all these legal pads, and what I would do is throughout the night or throughout the week, I might have an idea, or I might see something on the news or something funny. Let me jot that down, and just in case somebody back out on me, we can talk about this or we can talk about
Okay,
that. You
okay.
know what I mean? So it was like just always having a backup plan at the end of the day, because things are never gonna go the way that you expect them to go. So
No,
don't
no, no,
be
no.
so don't get
That,
disappointed when they don't happen the way that you know what I mean. Because you got some
that's
people
the
that like
game of life.
yeah, exactly. You got some people that are professionals. Like when I would ask certain guests, like, do you want to come on? All right, well, what's the question? What's the order of the questions and all that? All right, this might not be the show for you
No,
because
no, no, no.
we like to have organic conversations in real time. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
and the conversation. That's a script.
Yeah. And I feel like anybody could come up with the great answers if they prepare
Yeah,
for
if
them.
you know the questions, that's the
Exactly.
key. You got
So
the I'm right, wrote them on the back of my hand.
yeah. So that's one of the reasons that, because at the time, as far as I know, I was really the only person that was actually doing a live recording. Because a lot of times what I found out later on, like even with a lot of the church services, it would say live as they going,
Record it
it was
and then put it
pre-recorded.
up there.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
just say that is live, but they did that 2 or 3 days ago. So you can go back and make all the edits that you want to and make it look like I ain't want that. I just wanted to be authentic and live, actually live.
You know, like you watching the game.
Yeah.
Who, who would you say was your favorite guest?
Um, that's hard to say. Oh, by
Just
far,
give one. No, okay, now go ahead.
because it was totally unexpected when Red Man came on.
How about that? Yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
When
Yeah,
Red
I'd
came
have
on,
said that too.
yeah, because
Nah,
I didn't even know he
that
was
Red
coming.
man, it's not fair. He sold millions of records. It's not fair compared to other people.
Yeah.
Give us a person we don't know of. Somebody might not know of. Let them get some shine real quick. Redman is
What's
still
good?
rocking today. So
Who is my favorite guest? Man, we had so many over the years, man. It is, of course,
memorable.
Five's
No,
always
no
entertaining.
disrespect to nobody.
Yeah. Of course, Five's always entertaining. I like when Jew be on. I like when Jew come on. Um, well, I put it like this. I would probably say one of my favorite guests was the first people that actually reached out to me to ask me could they promote their book on the show. Um, 9 women that they wrote a book together through the fire. Jude McAllister. She I don't even want to mess up her name, but my sister Jude from VPF. Her other co-authors, they came on, but they reached out to me and asked me could they promote their book on the platform. So I was like, I would put them up there because they reached out to me and asked me, like they found the platform worthy enough for them to say, we want to come on your show and talk about our book.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
more
what's
power
up.
to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they see the power in you. What episode surprised you the most? Not no Red Man thing. I'm saying while you was going through the episode, the guest speaking to you, or just information that you got that you was like, oh, world, you know what I mean? Surprised you the
Mm,
most, like you wasn't unexpected.
um, when I look back, it's two that stand out the most. When I look back, it's the very first anniversary show because I have my god brothers Lamar and Kev uh co-hosting like you are tonight, and I had no
Uh huh.
idea what the questions were, and it was so funny when you watch the playback. It's the funniest episode to me because it was like they was asking me tough questions. Who was the first person you kissed? And what mixing all the serious questions up with the regular questions, and it seemed like every time I didn't want to answer, like I would freeze or my screen would go out, and it was totally unscripted. Like we was having a storm that night. So when you watch the playback, of course I
Like
know
you
what
was
was
hitting
going
the
on.
button.
But the view exactly. It's like you
They're like,
don't
this
want to
nigga
answer that.
cheating.
Hey,
They don't want
so
to
that
answer
was
the
one of my
questions.
favorite
Nigga
ones.
cheating.
And then another good memory was the one show me, Fi, and Jew was on together, and we was getting ready to wrap up, and Fi asked us, he was like, "Yo," he's like, "When I look at you two, man, I see something totally different, man. What is that look in your guys' eyes as far as our relationship with Christ?" And when I watched the playback, it was like the way me and Jew kind of lit up, just talking about our experience and our own relationships with God and Jesus and Christ and how we came to be, and it was like that was so refreshing, especially knowing our history and where we from. Just for fathers to notice that and then ask us that, like we lit up because we got excited and talking about our personal relationship with God. You know what I mean?
You are the son of a pastor, right? Your mother is a
Yeah.
your mother's yeah. But we gotta let people know that also. I don't know if you mentioned it earlier, but I just wanted to,
Nah. Yeah.
I
My mom's a pastor.
yeah. Like, what was your biggest challenges, like your toughest show, and like how did you make it through it?
Um. mm, I would probably, like I said, to me, the toughest part about doing this, I would probably say, is back to what I said initially, like just getting other people to lock in. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Getting people to be committed as far as like if you say you're gonna do it or you're gonna be on. Everybody know I ain't got no money. We ain't getting paid for this. We ain't drink champs. We ain't Kevin B. Like we ain't sponsored yet. You know what I mean? And hopefully, like Big Five just asked, what are your plans for the future? What are your plans for the podcast in the future? That's really what I want to get to a place where,
By
um,
my co-hosts.
yeah, we can we can monetize off of this, and that I can do because I had ideas in the beginning that haven't come to fruition yet. But one of the things that I wanted to do was, and I don't really care. I don't really. I didn't want to share because I don't want people to steal my ideas or whatever.
Nah, no, no, no. Mm-mm. Don't put it out there yet, then.
All right,
Niggas are Steven. Don't put it
we'll,
out there yet. Just hold that, hold
we'll
that,
put it
hold
out
that.
there when it come together. We'll
Yeah,
put it
yeah.
out
Don't
there
put
when
it.
it come together.
Say it in person, not online. Cause you're gonna be
Yeah,
writing it
but
down right
I
now.
definitely got I
Yeah.
definitely got high expectations, and I'm looking forward to some positive things happening in the future, and hopefully, like I said, one day I will be able in a position to where I will be able to pay guests for being on. Like the commercials say, like the ads say, these are not paid guests. They're not paying. You're not paying to give certain particular answers and nothing like that. I just want to be able to be a blessing to people. You know what I mean, for being a part of the show, man. So I appreciate that. Um, show the show about men paying all the bills was the best show. That's what Fox said. All right, yeah, that. So hey, so while y'all out there, I know I'm not the host tonight, but so y'all put in the comments what's some of y'all favorite shows in the past as well. Um, Drew said share it after you do it. Yes, that's what best. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely do it. Drew, because I do. It's something that a benefit myself and all the previous guests and all that kind of stuff there. You know what I mean? So it's something that I really want to do. And my goal, like as far as goals, well, I can share this part of it. I want to get to a place where we can actually have merch, like hoodies, t-shirts, hats. The Marvin Bennett Jr. show. So
That's a little bit too long right there. I don't know. You can't have your face on it though. You just put the
God,
words. You know?
it'll be like a silhouette. I'm working on the trademark now.
Okay,
Like
all right.
the logo. So it won't say the mark, but you'll know what it means.
Nah,
You know what I mean?
yo, put you catching the ball with the dude running down. Put that up there. That'd be crazy. That's some
And make
Charlie
sure it's
Brown shit
green and
right
white with the West Side colors. That's only gonna be available in green and white.
there. Yo, since you started, it's like podcast changed. Like it's just like the last 2 years, but you 6 years in.
Yeah.
Like like what you had to change since you started to like to now. And some of these repetitions, but it's just try to pinpoint like the stuff that like the stuff you were doing when you started that you had to adjust and come to like the new part that the audience changed. people attention change, the subject matters change. Like how you address that type of stuff? Like
It,
you like
it's um I would say that the heart the trying to find more balance. You know what I mean? Because one of the things, one of the most awkward questions that I always get asked when people ask me about, oh, you do a podcast or this here and that there, like, well, first thing they always ask is, what is your podcast about? And it's like, I don't have an answer because we talk about everything and anything. So what I wanted to do is create more of a balance. Because I said it on the very first show, even though I am a Christian, this is not per se a Christian show. You know what I mean? This is a show for everybody where we talk about
well, God is here. He's watching. God is here. Though. He
yeah,
watching.
exactly. And he's a part of every. That's one of the things that I stay consistent in. I open up every show with prayer because that's the way I was raised and that's the way I was taught. You start everything with prayer. So even if I was going to rob a bank, I'm praying before I go up in that bank. You know what I mean? I pray
Get
before
all the
everything.
money, please. The hundreds, no ones, no singles. All the hundred.
So I start everything with prayer. You know what I mean? And like what I wanted to do is create more balance because we've had great shows as far as serious topics. I remember Noelle Owens, she came on and she talked about the
I
condition that
remember
she,
her. I remember the name. I
yeah,
remember her.
went to West Side with us. Tamara Perry, she came on and talked about being a breast cancer survivor. Miss Shanice, she came on about being a breast cancer survivor. One of the earlier shows, I had a cousin who did 16 years in Rikers Island. You know, Life After Doing Time was the name of that particular episode. Just talking about how he just reacclimated. Then we had like the comedy shows where, you know, we just talking, having a good time. We did sports shows. I definitely want to do more sports shows in the future. Outside of just the Tuesday night show, I want to do some sports shows where we come on panels and we discuss just sports, period. You know, that whole particular episode outside of the Tuesday night show. You know what I mean?
Hmm. How your how's your audience has changed throughout the last 6 years, and like and how did they shape the show? The audience, more people watching, more people coming in, advice
It
they give, comments they give.
One of the things that I do is I don't do, because me and Rock talk about this all the time, and I was talking about earlier, you know, trying to get the show monetized. One thing I'm never going to do is I'm never going to compromise myself or my integrity
True
or my
indeed, true
character.
indeed.
You know what I mean? So I
Right.
don't care how much money you throw at me. You know what I mean? I'm not doing it if I don't believe in the product, if I don't believe in it, so to speak. I'm not doing it just for the bag. I can't do it. I can't rock like that. You know what I mean? I'd rather have us 20 viewers or whatever the case may be than to sell my soul. I like to feel like I don't have a price. So I won't compromise that. Having said that, I think that is very important. Because I don't really like to do clickbait. But I do notice
Yeah.
that like on YouTube in particular, depending on what the title of the show is, it'll predict how many views we get. Like the one
Are
that
you
we did,
serious?
yeah. I think we just did it last month after the Knicks won. You know, I did the show. I titled it Go New York," celebrating the Knicks win. Dude, over the first first 5 hours after we had the end of the show, it was up to like 400 views. Just because we
Oh
were talking
yeah,
about the Knicks and
the Knicks, the Knicks.
so, yeah, so it was like depending on what it is, but I don't do the clickbait. I ain't never coming up with a title just to try to get people on. So you ask me
Yeah.
how does the viewers evolve? We getting a lot more YouTuber. Like I had somebody from YouTube. I mean, somebody from Mexico on the YouTube one night, couple months ago. I had somebody from Germany on. So it's like it just baffled my mind when it's Venezuela, and I've only had to block one person. In the history of the 6 years, he got on here talking some old racist and this here black people. Okay, I got to cancel you out. Other than that, I don't really care whether people say whatever. Just don't be racist or disrespectful in that type of way. You could disagree with me or you could, oh, you whack, you don't know what you're talking about. I don't care about none of that in the comments because it's been good for good content.
Yeah. Make your arguments, and we're based on the facts. You know
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
it.
Make it on the fact. About your Knicks, huh? I know Skeeter gonna chime in too, but I just think about that Knicks team that won the championship, and I compare them to every other NBA championship team,
Mm.
and I don't see them beating. What I'm thinking, what championship team can they beat? I can't. I'm sorry.
Who the
That's
Knicks?
yeah. That did this championship Knicks team. They couldn't beat none of the Ewing teams. I can't see them beating the Ewing team.
So I agree with that. And before we go down the rabbit hole, I'm gonna say this, like, because and I thought about this, like the closest team that I think that they remind me of, not that they do,
That
not
won a
that
championship?
yeah, not that they're similar or whatever, but I would like this. I think it reminds me of that like '05 Detroit team because
No. We talking about
listen,
Chauncey Billups?
listen,
No, not with
listen.
that Chauncey
I'm
Billups. Ben
telling you.
Wallace and them?
This is why. This is why they make me think of them. It's because it's like okay, of course we had Jalen Brunson, but it's the supporting cast. You know, everybody, man. Y'all knew y'all wasn't gonna win without Jalen Brunson. I knew y'all wasn't gonna win without Cat. I knew. Listen, it was a collective effort, but it wasn't just that the Knicks won the championship. It's the style in which they did it, bro. Every closeout game, you never seen this from the great team, like you say. Not that we could beat any of them, but you never seen any other team in history win the championship this way. 16 and
That,
3 in the playoffs.
the only thing I can say to that is like that team, that Detroit team was a tough defensive team. They
Yeah.
won. They and with I think Larry Brown's the coach. That was a tough defensive team. Y'all
And
wasn't.
look
Y'all,
what we
yeah,
did.
yeah.
Look what the Knicks did this year defensively. Compared to you know, first of
No,
all,
no, no.
with Jones in boxing, you only can play
It,
the
it,
hand that you dealt. You only can fight the
no,
fight
I'm
that's
saying
out you.
it's a little bit different because the defense ain't the same. The rules is
Exactly.
different now.
That's what I'm saying.
They're not as physical.
But according to the game
Yeah,
standard, it was a
you play
defensive
who
team.
in front of you. You play who in front of you.
Yeah.
But
Fox said, hold up. Fox said he had to change his
I'm,
laptop and internet connection because it was horrible in the beginning. Nah, Fox, this is the same laptop I've been using. It's just that I went from Zoom to StreamYard, and then
yeah,
like
everybody needs that better.
so what it is it's not even that it's better because like you say 6 years ago both of those are relatively new. You know what I mean? And like we're considered that like workplace environment platforms, team meetings, and all that kind of stuff there. So their quality has gotten better over the years. So it's not my laptop though. Fine. Drew said he had to throw them scumbag Knicks in there. No, Bell asked the questions, so I ain't bringing them Knicks up. Stop hating,
he,
Drew.
he
Uh,
texted to me, Drew. He told him to ask that before the show, Drew.
Fox said the Knicks squad just smashed everybody and won finals in 5 games. You just, you just history, Bell. You bugging.
I knew he gonna say something and stuff. Salute to
Big
y'all, man.
happy
Y'all
anniversary.
champions.
Hey,
Y'all
shout out,
champions.
Rod. Appreciate it, bro.
I'm getting some text messages too, some questions like, what are your three topics that you like to discuss on your show? Give us three topics that you haven't discussed yet that you would like to discuss on your show.
That I haven't discussed yet. Oh
Yeah,
man.
that you haven't spoken on.
Um, we did a show, but I didn't talk about it personally. I wouldn't mind a conversation about life after divorce.
Okay, pause.
Uh,
Before you even go there. Before you
uh,
go there. You were married.
uh,
Who were you married to?
why is that relevant?
Okay, no, we have to say names there. What lessons have you learned from being married?
Mm.
As far as to take things that you would experience that you well lessons you learned that can help you in future relationships.
To always be considerate of your partner.
All right. Okay. Go ahead. You go back to the other. You can go back. You want to go back to the last question? Or you want me throw another one at you?
Nah, you said what was the three? Life after divorce. But yeah, that's something
Yes,
that
sir.
I've learned more than anything. Be respectful and mindful of your partners and your partner and their feelings and their thoughts. That's very that's very important in a relationship.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm gonna write that down.
um, what else? All right, so I've been dying to do this, and I just got to get the right people on it. Because that's all right. So that's a lot of things. I be wanting to do a lot of different relationship type topics, but it'd be hard to do because a lot of people are in relationships, so you can't necessarily give like completely honest answers sometimes. Like we have brought it up. I forgot maybe within the last 2 or 3 weeks we had talked about our people. Matter of fact, it was last week. Our people the week before last. Our people married out of love or convenience, or how many people are actually with their soulmate or the love of their life, so to speak. You know what I mean? But a lot of people don't want to. Well, I ain't the love of your life. It'd be hard to have those real conversations without people catching their feelings. But
Yeah, you're
it's
gonna get people.
always in
You're
my
gonna
mind.
break up relationships. It's gonna be a divorce show.
That's
You're gonna get people
what I'm saying.
divorced.
So that's one that I would really like, but I really can't. And then another show that I've been, I was saying, this is what I was saying. I don't know how I got to that, but one of the shows that I've been really wanting to do is that's what I was saying because it's hard to get for certain topics. It's hard to get the right people on the panel. But I really want to do on a show where because this is something that I see or I hear a lot. Why do people choose to ignore red flags? Like you might see something early in a relationship, but you know what? Like I
I
hear a
could
lot of
change. I could change that. I could change that person. That's
yeah,
why because they think they can overcome it, but it's a lot of work to overcome certain things. Those things is
it's
DNA.
like like one I hear a lot of times is like with women they'll say like um I don't like the way he treat his mother, or I don't like the way he treat the waitress, so to speak. But you choose to ignore that and still be in a relationship with her. Like, why do people just choose to ignore red flags? I think that would be an interesting topic. Um,
Hey, who you gonna have on to discuss it? How many is it gonna be like? How many women? How many men? Because you got
no,
it's
I
different
definitely want. I
sides. Women.
definitely want to. Yeah, I want a balanced panel. I don't want like all
Okay.
guys. I don't want all women. I want to have both a males and perspectives, male and female perspective.
Yeah.
For
'Cause
me
dude's
personally,
gonna be like, I ignored the red flag because she had a nice booty. Stuff like that and stuff. And,
exactly.
niggas and shit. Niggas, they don't care.
Uh, Uh, third one, I'm not really sure. Cause we've done so many. Um, I don't know. I would have to think about that third one. But you before you go to your next question, if I said Bell, which one of
Great.
those teams from the past would have beat Wimby?
What do you say? What's
He
the
said,
question?
which one of those teams from the past would have beat Wimby?
The Knicks teams?
I don't know if you mean the Knicks team or the championship teams, but I think all of them.
No, that's San Antonio. That's a very young team. That's
Yeah.
like I wouldn't. I think all those teams might have beat them because they're so young. I'm
Mhm.
surprised they even made it there. Like that,
That's
the oldest
that's
player
what I
that
said too. Like even before we made it to the finals, it was like whoever this is our year to win because I see them being like that. If they don't break that chemistry up, the next 2 to 5 years, bro, San
gonna be
Antonio
a
gonna be a
problem.
problem.
Gonna be a problem. He's getting better every year.
Mm-hmm.
And all those guys like first round, like first, fifth round. Like from 1 to 10 draft picks.
Yeah,
I think their most senior player on their starting lineup was what Fox. He
no
was
doubt.
he wasn't completely healthy. He wasn't completely healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Like
What
like okay,
question?
somebody got a question? If
Now
somebody got
before
one, throw it up there.
you said you had one before I was answering that.
Um, what's the best way for people to celebrate this anniversary with
What's the best way?
you? Yeah,
Tell other people to subscribe and tell other people about the show. Tell your friends about the show that's not aware of the show already.
salute to that. All right, yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah,
thought
that's a
about
good
that
one.
as a consideration. You because it is a celebration. You asked me my ex wife name is Tamika McCray, and I can shout out because it's real simple.
Tamika's
Um,
cool. Tamika's cool.
I
My
wouldn't
friend.
be here without her. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It don't matter our status is now. life in general. Um, he's
Every
a
person,
pivotal part of my
every
life.
person, yeah, every person in your life, if
Yeah,
you with them or you're not with them, affect you and they making you who you are. They in
yeah,
your DNA. You know what I
that's it.
mean? The eyes may not pick it up, but it's in your DNA.
And
So
nothing could ever change that.
you,
Yeah,
you can't change that. You can't
yeah.
deny that.
So shout out to
Salute
her.
to her.
Yeah, shout out to her. Um,
What are you most excited about in the next year or the next few years about your podcast that you see? What's your vision?
getting I got some things going on. Like I said, I won't go into too much details, but actually like getting
Yeah, don't
coaching.
yeah, don't
You
put
know,
nothing out there where because
that's what I'm
YouTubers
really
are
looking
still
for.
all those joints.
Yeah, not particulars, but what I'm saying is like getting coaching and allowing people to help me take it to the next level. You know what I mean? Stop trying to figure it out how to do it on my own, but actually getting help from people that know the industry and just know business and how to get to the bag and all that kind of stuff there, allowing them to help me and show me the way. You know what I mean?
I'm a quote Chuck D on that. Like, what's the move as a team, never move alone. Welcome to the Terror Dome.
No
I
doubt.
get Chuck. I get Chuck D on that.
Hold up,
Um,
Drew got one. Drew said, I would like to see you do one life after doing time. Yeah, matter of fact, Drew, I'll send that show episode to you. It's on the YouTube channel though. You can go back and look at it, but I'll send it to you so you can easily find it. It's one of the earlier shows. Two, dealing with kids and relationships that's not yours. I think that would be a interesting topic. And three, men letting out things that hurt them. Yeah, all those would be good shows.
I ain't watching that.
Yeah, I can't really talk about life after doing time because I ain't never really did no hard time. So that's why I would have to have other people come on and talk about their experiences. But I've never did no hard time like that.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. You could get him, reach out to him.
Hmm.
I don't know. You remember Chris, right?
Yeah, me and Chris actually, I text him cause Chris, I might
If
look
if
into
he
that.
if he want to do it,
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean. He
yeah,
might
yeah.
not want to do it. If he want
Cause
to
I
do it,
talked to him about it. I talked to him about it briefly about a year ago, but I don't remember where we. I dropped the ball. You know, life got hectic or whatever. But I might now that you brought that up and you brought him up, I might reach back out to him like you said. And if he's interested, cool. If he's not, that's cool too.
yeah, because he got insight. I know it might be he might not be ready, but
Yeah.
you just put it to him and just take it from there. And let me see something. 6 years doing a podcast. Describe your podcast as if it was a movie title. The last 6 years, big budget. Steven Spielberg produced this shit. Denzel was the lead actor in it.
Uh,
give me a title for it.
um, the title of the movie.
No, the title of your podcast. If your podcast was a movie,
Yeah,
describe
yeah.
your
What would be
podcast
the
as a movie.
title?
Not the Marvin
Uh,
Bennett show.
yeah, yeah. Conversations that need to be had.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, man. I'm not going to that movie. Give me something else. I can't even sell that one.
I
Give
don't
me
know.
one more. I know I'll put you on the spot. We can come back to that.
Yeah,
We can come back to
yeah.
that one.
Something about conversations though, like tough conversations or something. I don't know. Chris,
Yeah, I know that.
that's who
Push
Drew.
come to shove. What he say?
He said
Give me
which
what
Chris?
you say?
Chris off of Grand. I forgot what. I don't know. Chris was Chris on Grand. Chris White
What
though.
Chris?
His last name was White. Chris. That we were just talking about. Drew was asking
Oh,
which Chris.
oh, no, no, no. Chris wasn't on Grand. Chris was further down. Chris was further down. He's like Mon Isabella.
Okay.
Cause like when I went to camp with him and he came to West Side. What grade was he? He was a year behind me. What grade was he in, Ma?
I think,
'Cause
yeah, I think he was 90. Either he's supposed to graduate 92 or 93.
okay, okay, because I think he about in my 93. Because I went to camp with him, leaving eighth grade to ninth grade, and then he came like 2 years later. So I think he like 2 years behind me. He
Mm.
don't remember. He don't remember like we left camp. It rained so hard that day. We went on South Orange Avenue by Bellersburg Park. I'm talking about flooded. We running, trying to run. I'm running from the park to. I bumped into him. That joker fell. Big puddle of water. I told him when I saw him at Lincoln Park, like the company when he
Yeah,
when he
yeah,
first
yeah.
came home in Lincoln Park. He didn't remember. It was so long ago, but I remember that because I when he looked at me when I knocked him down, he fell in that water. I'm like, damn, this is my fault, man. To pick him up and shit. I'm like, hey, you know, remember, I'm putting it up now, put it on tape.
Yeah,
Anybody
shout out
remember
to
that
Chris
joint?
though. I got to see him for a
Yeah,
birthday party. They had a family reunion down here in North Carolina a couple years ago, and I got a chance to go out and check him out.
yeah, yeah. I'm glad he's back, but it's still one more that's still
Yeah,
behind that was with
yeah,
him. Yeah, I don't know. That's a travesty. It shouldn't be. He should be home by now.
yeah, man. Shout out to Rohan, man.
Yeah. Let me see something. So my father. Anybody got a question? If I got any questions, I don't want to jump. Who? I'm on double screen. I thought somebody else was up there, Mar.
Oh nah.
Yeah, okay, on double screen. Let me see something. Like when I asked you what the best way for people to celebrate this is your sixth anniversary,
Mm-hmm.
all the people that's watching and all the people that's gonna see this on YouTube, put your I don't know you want to give me your phone number. Zell you $6.
Well, I got the
Everybody,
cash app was on the bottom. It's on the bottom. It's on the
yeah, yeah. Either Zell, if you got his number, either Zell or Cash App my man $6 for production.
no
For that
doubt.
movie for that movie title he couldn't think of.
As I tell you guys all the time, all donations, because people have made donations in the past, and I do appreciate it. But every donation that I get from this platform, it goes back into this platform. I have to pay for this stream yard service. I have to pay for everything out of my own pocket. So it's monthly fees, is the laptop. I had to get a brand, like I said before I even started, so I went and got a MacBook Pro. I don't do the Apple, but everybody kept telling me about the MacBook.
Yeah, you're better. Yeah, you're better.
It was like, you know,
Windows.
I spent all this money out of my pocket, so everything that you guys donate is much appreciated, and it definitely goes back to the show. It's not for me to go on to Chili's or Applebee's or nothing like that. There, I'm not pocketing anything. Anything that's donated to the show goes back into the show, and I gladly appreciate it. Drew said, "Yes, that's my partner. He is home now. That was my first partner. Yes, we grew up on Grand Avenue together. He lived on the first part, and I lived on the third part. We in touch until this day." Big Fox said possible topics. Number one, depression. Two, salute those from your hometown doing positive things. Three, have a guest to provide financial housing support for those in need. All right, Big Five. Yeah, I'm gonna screenshot this real quick and look into that. Um,
Yeah.
I
You want
know
to be the
Monica
producer.
Boswell was on last 2 weeks ago, and she's coming back on. But
Who's
she's
that?
Monica Boswell.
Okay.
She's a realtor, and I have some up in Jersey too that I have talked about too about it. Um, but I wanted to do it. I'm gonna do. We're gonna be doing a show pretty soon about the importance of home ownership. Um, for those that want to purchase their home, maybe for the first time or whatever the case may be. She's going to tell you different loans that you can apply for, ways to get money to go about um, purchasing your first home, and the importance of home ownership. Um, and building equity and all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna be that's in the works now. We're definitely gonna do that within the next 2 months or so.
That's what's up. Ah, what's the next show going to be about? So
I
you
don't
haven't
know, man.
choose yet.
I, I'm,
How
I'm
do you? How do? What's your process? What's your process anyway? of picking a topic, and how much do what when you done with one show, you start the research and you go to the next show, or you is it pop culture something to come up, or the topic, the topic that's
So,
the most popular
so,
topic.
so generally, what I do is, as crazy as it sounds, since I started the show, what I do is I literally pray. That's why I try not to book too many shows so far in advance because things may change. That's why I dedicate each show, each first of the month show. We call it the freestyle show because then we can talk about anything, like you said, pop culture. Like if it was the first month, if it was a typical first of the month show, of course we would have to talk about Yankee Stadium this weekend because everybody was there for the Jay concert
My sister was there. Yeah, she
and
was there.
I see the pictures and all
Oh,
that.
you saw.
Yeah, I said, man, like everybody I know from Jersey, New York was in the building. Down here we had J. Cole Friday sellout at in Charlotte, Saturday sellout in Charlotte. So shout out to Cole. I was seeing a lot of different shows this week, but generally I like to use that first show of the month to talk about any and everything that's been going on. Outside of that,
Recap.
yeah, it'd be like certain things that God lay on my heart that, okay, you know what? I'm gonna reach out to this person if they're comfortable with talking about it because there's a lot of shows that were supposed to be done that couldn't be done, but great, interesting topics and things or what have you. But a lot of people at the last minute was like, I don't really feel like being on camera, and
They scared to speak on.
I don't have a problem with people not wanting to be on camera, but it's not good for the show because when I go back and look at uh the numbers or after the fact, even like I said earlier, I don't really care about the numbers. Like those shows really don't get any views. Um,
Yeah,
when they just hear somebody's voice and can't see the person that's actually talking. Um,
witness protection. Like witness protection
yeah.
is like somebody
So,
snitching.
so I know a lot of the interesting people that really want to be a part of the show. They just don't want to be on front of the camera. So I'm like, I appreciate it, but you know what I mean. Like I kind of would, and I want to find. In the future, one of the goals that I would really like, I would like to find a permanent female co-host because I like for every show to have balance as far as the male perspective
Yeah,
and the female
true.
perspective. So I would really like to find a consistent female co-host to have on here. You know, maybe like not even if it's not on a permanent basis.
Yeah, at
Um,
least once a month, twice
yeah,
a
yeah,
month.
very consistent though.
Yeah,
Even if it's one, now,
yeah.
even if it ain't the same female, you know what I mean. So any of you ladies that's interested, holler at your boy. Um, I had somebody in mind, and we gonna see if it ever come to pass. But for the last 2 years, they've been saying they ready. But we gonna make it happen. It's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen. You know what I mean? Like Drew said earlier, when it's supposed to happen, she'll be ready.
Yeah, always like that. That's
And
get
I'll
the
take care
female principal up here.
because any of the former guests, one thing they'll all tell you, and they all agree about is, I create a safe place. You know what I mean? I don't. But if I said ask Shakira, no doubt, yeah, I'm gonna reach out to her. I think is important. Because like I said, I realize now it's not easy for everybody to have conversations like this here and this and that there. You know what I mean? Um, but that balance is important because I never like to do shows just by myself. That's one thing I try to stay away from now too because it's like I'm trying to fill in time and I don't want it to be about me or just me. You know what I mean? And it's like when I'm on a show by myself, I'm waiting for questions to come up before I can actually answer those questions. So it's different when I'm actually interacting with an actual conversation with somebody else. Me
Yeah,
personally, I don't like to do the shows where I'm more here by myself. You know what I mean? So that's one reason I like to have somebody else on camera because I'm like, I don't necessarily care to hear myself. I know how I feel about different things, but it's better when I have a conversation with somebody else.
yeah,
Drew said, "Let
especially
it happen before it's time. Don't force it." Absolutely, Drew. Yeah, because that's what we're not gonna do. We're not gonna do it. Like I said, I'm cool with in God's timing, not my timing. You know what I mean? I'm big on that.
it's all in due time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that with the female because they have a different view on something. Their
Mhm.
perspective is different and they made different. They
Yeah, everything.
yeah, man, woman is just different. It's just different. That's all it is. No right, it ain't no right or wrong, but
No, I'm
they
not
some
that Jew.
so,
Absolutely not Jew.
what
Jew,
is that?
and I ain't even going. I ain't even going to acknowledge that comment there. It's somebody that we was
I drink to
watching.
that.
He wasn't. He said I should get on here. No, absolutely not. That'd be the first show off the rails.
See, I can't see the comments.
So me and him will get into it.
I can't even see the comments on here. Turn this thing down a little bit. Damn, my battery low on this joint. Let me see something. What's the Ooh, I said the plans for the next show. I asked you one already. Will you see it? Will you see the show? And this is put it in the universe.
Mm.
Will you see the show in the next 5 years? Looking forward, because you know you got to speak it. You got to speak it into existence.
Yeah, I'm just looking for bigger and better things. You asked me what I don't really know. That's what it was. You were saying asking me about the show, the next show. I don't really know.
Not the
Um,
next show. We're going
nah,
all the way.
I'm just talking about in general. Is if I said it's better than the United States.
No, I'm in the south of France, nigga.
uh, One of the shows that's near and dear to my heart, like when I first had the idea for this show, um, the late Bishop Everett, we was at his funeral. I had to give words, and it was a pastor by the name of Larry Haran that spoke before me, and the words that he spoke was like so pierced into my spirit that I was like, you know what? Like I said, I didn't even have the idea for the show at this particular time, but it was like, man, he needs to tell this story on one of these platforms. Like even if he just uploaded to YouTube. So I'm really trying to get him on here. But he was talking about the power of forgiveness. Um, and we just trying to work out scheduling differences because he's in a different time zone. But he has agreed to come on and do the show. But long story short, and I can't wait till we get to actually do the show. But he was talking about the power of forgiveness, and he said something along the lines of fix it while you can because when you want to, you won't be able to. In other words, a lot of times, we take for granted time. You know what I mean? And it really is a present. That's why it's called the present. But
Mhm.
a lot of times, we saying once I get over this hurt, I go apologize to that person. But you might not have time to go back. So make sure you get it out. Just like I always thought about this, whether women been sexually abused, uh, growing up, violated, is no, it's unforgivable. And I won't even imagine. I won't even try to imagine how it shaped your life and how you view life as itself when you've been violated as a child, particularly by the people that you supposed to that you look to for protection and safety. Um, but it's like the importance of that is I think about how many people are waiting they walking around as an adult, still hurt, haven't healed because they waiting for an apology that they could never get. You know what I'm saying? Like only if the daddy had to talk to the little girl to me, but your dad is gone now, so he can't apologize. But you still holding on to that pain. And I'm not telling you how to grieve or nothing like that there, but I just wonder often, rhetorically, how many people are waiting for an apology that they could never get, and waiting on that, they letting that pain hinder their growth as a human being, as an adult, or as a person to heal and actually encourage other people that might have gone through the same thing. Because one thing I always try to tell people, and I learned through ministry, is nothing that we go through is for us. Everything that we go through is for somebody else. It's just a matter about us getting to the point where we get comfortable enough to talk about it. You know what I mean? That's why from time to time I don't glorify it, but that's why I talk about me actually trying to commit suicide. You know what I mean? Because that's a real thing. Somebody else has thought about that. You know what I mean? But no, it's not worth it. You know, you could always find another reason to live. You know what I mean? Even if it's listen, when our appointed time comes, we don't have to worry about anything anymore. But until then, let's keep trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? But one of the things that he was talking about was, and I'm gonna save it for him to tell his own story. But in a long story short, he had to wind up forgiving his father. He watched his father kill his mother, and he had to go to a place where he had to learn how to forgive his father, in spite of all of this here. And I just thought it was like captivating, like wow, like what? So I'm done. I can't wait till he actually comes on the show and actually tell his story about the process, what that was like for
Yeah.
him. Because if you get to that place there, like, and you witness it with your own eyes, I can't even imagine. I wouldn't even want to see that in a movie. Like, that's some real life trauma. And for you not to let it define you and to still be a productive, active husband, active father, pastor, doing things in his community is like, that's mind boggling. So you really got to share that story with the world, how you got to that place that you can move on and become who you are, having been through what you've been through.
That's I can't imagine. That's difficult.
Yeah.
Your faith, what does it mean to you, and how does it guide your life?
Hold up real quick. Drew said, what was the craziest thing you saw at West Side? Oh man. All right, so literally, yeah, like I said, the first thing I saw at West Side was that dude being passed for the cafeteria, the freshman being passed for the cafeteria down the staircase all the way out the front door. I ain't even seen that in a movie scene before. That was super crazy. But um, real quick story,
See,
like I'm gonna sum it up, and it's not funny at all. But I was literally there the day that um my one of my peoples, like I said, we don't like to name names on here, but he actually. All right, so you know how we used to crack jokes on everybody in the cafeteria, and this one particular day, this dude that was known in the school for being, this tough guy, whatever, or had a lot of mouth. Let's say his big brother was somebody though, you know what I mean? And he didn't like the way old boy cracked on him. So he's like, that's why I'm gonna get my brother to come up here, yada yada yada. The brother had just got out of jail that same week. The brother was in jail because he had shot this little girl, and she was no longer with us. She was deceased because of a drive-by shooting that he did. 6-year-old girl. He did time, got home that week. The brother come up there to get the dude that was joking on the other brother. We standing in the back of West Side. I'm literally standing right there. I'm watching the whole thing play out. As the dude is approaching, my partner, he's scared. He got the pole with him. He got the thing with him. Shaking. He wound up shooting him because he was scared of what the dude was going to do. Dude was just coming to talk to him though, like to tell him, supposedly, look, I done been in jail, all that did ain't worth it, all that did. While I'm shooting him, 15 years. When the dude body dropped, he was literally about 5 feet in front of me, and he wound up dying 10 years later to the day that he had killed that little girl. That was probably the
okay.
craziest thing I've seen at West Side.
Yeah, I seen some crazy stuff in West Side. You came to West Side. I went to West Side when Valsburg closed and they merged the
Exactly.
school.
Yeah.
Talking about violence that first year. I seen I seen ridiculous violence. Let me
Me,
see
and- me,
one
and- me
story.
and Nuck was talking about that the last time I was home though, because can you even thinking about that? Like for people that don't really, for context, for people that don't understand what we're talking about, was you had these two, like Newark had over 8 public high schools, but you take 2 high schools and you merge them into one. So it's like, can you imagine like you was the man at this, you was at the man at Velsburg, you was the captain of the football team, you was the lead starting quarterback. Now you merge everybody into this one school and it's up the hill versus down the hill, of course it's gonna be some beefs. You know what I mean? It ain't like
City was
West Side
different, Ma.
big either. So I could
City was
only
different, yo. It was
I could
on a whole
imagine.
nother level, yo. Especially like the first month. And they had like three buses for Valsburg people.
Mm-hmm.
Like the buses ain't like no those school buses. The 31 buses. They had
Yeah, yeah,
three
I remember.
31 buses
Uh-huh.
for us to get on. I remember one day we get on the bus. Um, two dudes get on and go on there, get on the bus with hoodies. The whole bus is quiet. The whole ride from West Side to Grand. I forgot my man's name. He had like the Letterman jacket with the sleeves. He had a couple of gold chains on from Valsburg. He was from Grand. He wasn't no tough dude. I guess people that his parents had money. He had the gold chains. And I was one of the dudes with his sister.
You blacked out for a second, Blah.
The whole is quiet. I'm quiet. Like you were like. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, but we can't
Can you
see
hear me,
you.
Marv? I'm clear.
Yeah, but we can't
Like you
see you.
froze a little bit. Let
It
me
might be
put
your
this in.
battery.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, but we can't see you. Yeah, let me see real quick. Drew said, "Did you used to go into the lunch line? Did you used to go back into the lunch line at West Side?" um, what's crazy is all the time I went to West Side, bro, I never ate the food. I ate the same thing every single day. I used to eat that. I forgot the cafeteria lady name too. She used to look me out, but they had them nice cakes. It was a cake. I used to like it's like a vanilla with the cream frosting. I used to eat cake and milk every single day. That was my diet at Westside. The whole time I was at Westside, I never ate the food at the cafeteria though. I would always eat the cake. I would have the cake and my milk every single day. That's all I ever ate from the cafeteria. Uh, Drew said, "Do you have
Can you
people
hear
in
me,
the street?"
Marv?
Yeah, yeah, I get you now.
Why this thing
Um,
going like this?
uh, but Drew said, "Do you have people in the street still, but they encourage you on what you're doing now?" Absolutely, absolutely. Um, I think that's like Big Fi asked earlier. Um, I think that is important for me to never cut people off just because the way they live their life or choices that they make. Um, I don't necessarily involve myself in their activities, or whatever. But I've never changed on anybody that's a part of my life. If I consider you my family or my brother, that ain't gonna never change. You know what I mean? Regardless of how you choose to live your life. You know what I mean? So they always tell me, yeah, man, this here and that there, and give me advice on the show. Yo, man, I heard you doing this here and that there. You don't want me to come on your show, and I got this one particular person that I'm dying to have on the show, but he said we ain't ready for him yet. But we're gonna see how that go. I'm gonna try to get him on here eventually. Um, we all went to West Side. Uh, Fi said, I told you he wasn't. Bell still in current from next door. They just caught him. They getting on you, Bell.
I can't
We
hear
can't
you.
hear you. Now we can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now, Bell?
Can you hear me, Ma?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Ma, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. You can't hear me though.
Can't hear you.
Oh, I can hear you, but you can't hear me.
Let's see something. Where is it?
Can't hear me now, Bell? It's like how that first anniversary episode I was telling y'all about. He wants me to. What does life in America mean to you? Who was that for, man? 5 million, man. If y'all hear this music too, I do not own the rights to this music, but I wanted to vibe while we was doing this. Can you hear me, Bell? Playing against Donald Squad, Mr. Sally. Mr. Sally. I wonder whatever happened to Mr. Sally. Can you hear me, Bell? Shoot, crazy. Can you hear us, Bell? Hey, big fight. That's what I was talking about. Every time I'm at the crib, every time I talk to him, he said we ain't ready for him yet, though. Now I'm gonna tell him that the people asking for him. You got to come on. You got the people request. Bell, you did? I don't know. We still waiting on Bell to try to get his connection back, but he did ask me, what does faith mean to me? Um, Faith literally is everything to me. Me personally, um, I need faith. Like I said, faith is everything to me. My belief system is why I'm still here today. Um, People always ask me, well, how could you? I know I got this one guy that always asks me, well, how could you believe in a God that you can't see and you can't touch or feel or hear? And I'm like, you believe in the air that you breathe, don't you? You can't see it, you can't touch it, but you know that it's the reason that you still here. I look at God as the same way. God has brought me through too many incidences in trials and tribulations for me to not know God is real. I get how some people may ask, is God real or is there a God and all that there. I've had too many personal encounters though where I know it was nothing but God that got me out of those situations. So my faith is everything to me. One of my favorite scriptures, well, my favorite scripture of all time is Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not to thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. And I'll literally take that scripture like literally. You there, Bell?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you. I
Uh,
don't know, it locked me out. I got knocked
yeah,
out.
yeah. So I was answering your last question about faith though. I literally take that scripture and I live by that. Like I said, in all your ways acknowledge him and he shall direct your path. That's one of the reasons that I pray about everything that I do. Um, people are like, man, you take that too literal. Okay, no, you just don't take the. It don't have to be that literal for you. Um, quick reason why I do that is because, and I was just an example of why I know that it works for me. I remember I've talked. I think I said it on here before, but I remember one day when I was in Arkansas, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna have a love affair with God today. I'm just going. I'm gonna have to do some errands. I said I don't want to have no music on. I'm not gonna listen to any gospel. I'm not gonna listen to anything. I just want to spend time with God and in His presence. And I heard the Holy Spirit tell me to go to this particular grocery store. I only had $20 in this whole wide world to my name, and I would normally go to Kroger, and um, the Holy Spirit told me to go to this one particular grocery store. And I was just out of force of habit. I was on my way to another grocery store that I normally go to. Said again, go to the Jenny Jungle. The name of the grocery store was Jenny Jungle. When I got to Jenny Jungle, like literally everything that I needed was on sale. It was crazy. I got everything that particular day, and $20 was enough for to feed my week and a half. Um, so that's one of the reasons that I follow that scripture to the T. In all your ways, acknowledge him. I pray about what gas station I should go to. I pray about what it may seem simple to other people, but I tried it and it works for me. But you asked what does faith mean to me? Hebrews 11:1 says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." I think that that's very important because I always ask myself from a logical standpoint, how could you have evidence of something that you can't see? And that's exactly what faith is. Um, Believing in something that you can't see. And that's why I think that is so important, because I know that I don't know the answers. I had no one of the most beautiful things one of the most beautiful ways that God shows his love to us, in my opinion, is we had no control over where we were gonna be born, who we were gonna be born to, how many brothers and sisters we had, were we gonna be short, tall, fat, or skinny. We have no say so in none of this. We just gotta live the life out. But the one thing that he does give us a choice in is will we give our life back to him, to let him do what he wants to do. I think that's the most beautiful, because if he's God Almighty and omnipotent and can do whatever, he could easily make us do whatever. But he loves us so much that he says, you know what, I'm not gonna make you do anything. I'm gonna give you the opportunity to serve me or live for me of your own free will. I think that's the most beautiful way that God shows his love toward us, is giving us that choice. Um, Bell said, what did Fa say? He needs to hear how crazy he is. We talk about him every day. He nuts. Yeah. Talking about because Fox said it. He's like, I need to get Mega on here. I told him, I said, that's the one person I've been trying to get to. He said we ain't ready for him yet though.
You need to bring on a God. You bring the God on. The God who protects is greater than great. You can bring him on. He got a lot to say. He got a lot of.
Yeah,
Got a lot of.
absolutely.
Got
Um,
real smart. Real smart.
Absolutely. That's why I
Right.
love conversations. I love talking to him when I'm up there.
Yeah.
Um,
He well read and
So Drew had a question for you too, man. He's like, what's your best memories at the gym?
Hmm. Best memory. Yeah, there's so many memories at the gym. I don't know. Some of the memories is like when was snow and his man was snow and them dribbling dudes. I don't know. My memory at the gym was like I was always on the worst teams, man. Jokers had like super teams. They get there, sign up early. You know what I mean? It'd be like Buddha, Wayne Herb, um, Big Herb, Rich, and somebody else. And we gotta go up against that every night. Like, oh, come on, now. It was like, oh, you know what I mean? And then like sometimes when it was just fun. That's my memories at the gym. That's my memories at the gym. It was like those were some of the best days though, going up to the gym. I say that though. Those were some of the best days. Somebody threw me a question to ask you too, Mar. They said, what advice do you have for anyone that wants to start a podcast or a show, anything like that?
All
Because
right.
you 6 in.
Big Fox said, I told y'all Bell wasn't here. In
What
the
do you say?
United States. So I told y'all Bell wasn't in the United States. And Drew
Why
said
you
that
saying that? Why
he
you keep
said
saying that?
he said Drew said you still in the people power next door. You're gonna have to pay them more time now.
That was my backyard.
uh, he said, Marv, they ain't got no more Piggly Wiggly down there. Yeah, I just don't eat Piggly Wiggly. I've never shopped at Piggly Wiggly whatsoever. I haven't
I've
had
never.
pork since I left Jersey. I stopped eating pork in '94.
What
So
is the
just because
Piggly
it's called
Wiggly?
Piggly
I done
Wiggly, I
heard it
don't
on like
eat
TV shows. What's the
Nah,
Piggly
that's a
Wiggly?
real
What the
that's a real place down here.
What they sell is pig? All they sell is
I
pork
don't know what
something?
they sell. Like I said, I've never even been in there. I think it's just a regular grocery store though. I don't even go in there
Yeah,
though. And said
Piggly
when
Wiggly.
Tom ran down on us on US Little Rock. Oh man, look. Man, I mean, us in Little Rock. Oh man, that's a story for another. I'm gonna tell that story on another show. But yeah, the boys they ran down like Bell. I guess he was saying that in terms of my favorite, like literally, yeah, they ran down on us. They ran down on us deep too. We talking
What
about
was it
like
in Arkansas?
yeah, like 18 cop cars with 2 cops in each one, DEA. Like it was crazy. It was crazy, yo. I ain't never
He made
seen
it
nothing like it.
around, man.
It was straight out. It was straight out of the movie scene. Like, all right, so here's the quick version. I had just rededicated my life to God, maybe like 3 days earlier. Me and
Just
my
in
cousin.
time.
Yeah, yo, it's crazy, right? So me and my brother Steve, my cousin Kev, we out there talking to these females out there at the park. I mean, at the pool. We had a pool in our apartment complex, and we out there sitting out there chilling, and a cop rolled up on us like, yo, where's you guys' ID? I'm like, and it wasn't like no, I'm like, what you need to see my ID for? Like, I live here. You know what I'm saying? And the pool wasn't even closed. It was like 10 minutes before the pool was gonna close or whatever. I'm like, I don't have to show you no ID. I'm a resident here. You know what I mean? I pay my like I got the right to be out here, whatever.
Uppity nigga.
Yo, exactly. That was the position that he took. Oh yeah. All right. Well, where's your ID? I'm like, I'm not showing you my ID. Like, I have every right to be out here. We not bothering nobody, nothing else out here. So next thing you know, here come another cop car coming. Another cop car coming. What's the big deal about you showing me your ID if you live out here, whatever the case may be? Because I don't have to show you my ID. I didn't do anything, and then you're not accusing me of anything. You know what I mean? You just walking up. But long story short, Ed sitting on the wall. I'm standing in the street with the
All right,
cop.
because Ant, hold on, Ant, that's your
Yeah,
6'10" cousin.
yeah.
Yeah.
But Ant is sitting down though, so he don't even know how tall Ant is. You know what I mean? Because he's sitting on this little brick wall, or whatever. So next thing you know, cop walk around me and start macing Ant. So now the other cop is trying to put me in handcuffs, and I'm telling my brother Steve, I'm like, yo, get out of here. Because if they do take us in, Steve was still a minor at the time, so they wasn't going to take him where they was going to take us. So I'm like, go ahead and, get out of here. Just bounce. So the cop trying to He tried to put me in handcuffs. I ain't even gonna lie, yo. I hit him with a football move. Shook him, boom. I broke out. So I went out. I ran an apartment. So I ran to my mom's apartment because my mom had an apartment in the same complex, and I stayed on the other side. So where this was happening, it was like in between both of our apartment complexes. So I go in there and tell Aunt Mom, like, yo, they out there macing Aunt. By the time I come back, and that's why I always say I messed up. Yeah, you know what I mean? I never should have went back to the scene of the crime. But I go back out there. Now, by this time, you got about 100 people coming out their apartments because it's like now, it's like 15 different cop cars out here. They all got people can't even come in the apartment complex because all the cops is taking up all the parking lot. Next thing you know, people out there watching, like, what y'all doing and all this here? My cousin Ant, they done got him in the car. He in the back seat, maced all up, trying to kick the windows out the back seat of the car because he can't see nothing. So I heard one of the cops say, that's the one he was with him too. He was the one that ran. So now my mother like, you know what we gonna do? We ain't gonna cause no scene. We ain't gonna do nothing else. What we gonna do? We gonna stand here and pray. Like people that was gathered around there, like that was outside, the neighbors and all this here, people that we ain't even know them. They literally holding hands. So we got like it's this big circle with maybe 70, 80 people holding hands while my mom is praying. So the cops ain't like this. So they put me in handcuffs. They put me in they put me in the car. They take us down to jail. And I'm in the jail like Bell. I'm amped. I'm like I'm on one. Like, but not in a negative way. I get into jail. I'm like, thank you, Jesus. Word up. That's what I'm talking about. I'm locked up. I ain't even do. This is the first time I'm locked up. It's like Paul and Silas in the Bible, yo. Like I'm in there.
Hello, evangelist.
Yeah, I'm on 10. My brother Ian there talking about, I know how much money I had. All my money better be there when we get out. He was on a whole nother 10, bro. Long story short, we got to go to court over this and everything else. It was crazy because we wasn't even thinking nothing about the whole court situation until we got there. So it wasn't like just particular kind of cases. It was all kind of cases. And I never forget, I didn't get worried until this one girl, she was up in there for writing bad checks. Like scarf. I remember she had on this black dress scarf, pocketbook on her shoulder when she went to see the judge. And the judge hit her with 12 months. She thought she was just gonna pay a fine. Judge gave her 12 months. She was like, nah, I got the money. Nah, no, you got 12 months. That's what you got. I said, oh Lord. They done gave this girl a year for doing writing bad checks. I was like, oh. So we ain't had no lawyer, no nothing. I prayed about everything. I said, Holy Spirit, I need you to guide me. So I represented all three of us.
Oh my man!
I ain't thinking about like no Matlock. I ain't no Matlock. I ain't no Perry Mason. But I went up there. You know what I mean? I just did what the Holy Spirit told me to say, and I tried to present it the case. I said, listen, this is what happened. The officer did this here and that there. Boom, boom, boom. Long story short, at the end of the case, the judge's response was, because I had done shot them down about everything. Like, what was the probable cause? All this here and this here and that there. The judge had nerve to say, well, I'm gonna find you guilty of disorderly conduct, evading arrest, and such and else. We only had to pay I think it was like $170 fine. We had to go home. But his response was, anytime all those, he's like, my case was valid and all the points that I brought up was good. But anytime that much police had to show up, we must have did something.
Nah, they just scared. They saw Ed. They're like, hold on, man. There might be some more.
That was just like
dudes inside the house.
And that was like the first time I seen like the racial tension, the buildup of like Arkansas. Like it's different. It's different. Like, you know, in that South, like even in the East Coast where we call it down South here, that's totally different.
That's a different
It's totally different. I done heard all the porch monkeys and all this. Like, nah, it's different. It's a different breed.
The demographic different. They outnumbered. They way outnumbered over there, Arkansas. And
Drew said that sounded like when the Cherokee ran down on us on Sunset. It came with the big movie lights and had the chopper. They put us all on the wall, and the cops go in the backyard everybody ran. Absolutely.
Man, they
Yeah,
used to do
I
that
remember.
every
I remember hearing the stories about the Cherokees and all that. Did yeah,
man.
man.
I'm not
God has
into
been
nothing,
over
yo.
the years.
I ain't do nothing, yo. You know how many times I got like in Green Street for walking to the store and walking back with like two people? I'm like, yeah, what is this? Like, y'all just giving me fake charges and stuff like that,
And
yo.
people
This is
don't
ridiculous.
understand this is a real thing. That's what really kills me about people that's not from the hood. Like they think that everybody making up these stories. Like you don't understand. Like I try to tell people, I have different conversations with people from Newark. Then I remember Neil talking about it when Neil was on the show. He went to this teacher convention out, and I think it was out in Vegas or whatever. And he was like, they mingling with all these other teachers, whatever. But then he met another teacher from Newark. He was like, they had a whole different conversation because only that person could know what it's like to teach in Newark. It ain't that
Hmm.
it's no different in Chicago and all that deal or different parts of North Carolina. It's different when you understand that environment. Tell
Yeah,
people all
shit.
the time, we had metal detectors before the airport did. we had we had metal detectors in school for the airports. Like
Damn, it was
make it
ridiculous,
make sense,
man.
man.
That first year that was ridiculous, yo. Yo, that first year, it calmed down after the first year. I'll say that. It calmed down after the first year, but that first year was extreme violence. Like the first 4 months, extreme violence. Like it was just like y'all from Velsburg, we from down here. The war's on, son.
Mm-hmm.
So it's some
Last
loose
man
shit.
standing, battle of the West Side in the Wild Wild West.
Mm. I love Velsburg too. I love Velsburg. Huh? That was my joint. Get out of school at start school at 8. Get out of school at like 1:40. Like a half day every day. If you had no 8 period, you get out of school at 1 o'clock. Lovely, man.
Drew
Well,
said, "Well, you lived on a block that was known for different drugs."
I ain't selling no drugs though. Them niggas.
Exactly. I
I
don't know.
took poetry. I was on the golf team. I'm a good nigga, man. I'm a house nigga and shit. You locking me up and shit. Oh. Sorry about that. Hold up, Bob.
Yeah.
Good to go? Uh, okay. So,
Velsburg was it too. Yeah, man. I just missed that cutoff, so I never got to experience Velsburg.
yeah.
But I heard some good. I heard different things about Velsburg. I just never got to experience it myself.
Should I get a few for it? I'll order them. Yeah, how much you get them for
I'm gonna get up out of here soon and better get back. But man, I just want to say again, man, I really appreciate you all, man, for taking this journey with me. Um, I was about to say something too. I said I ain't even gonna do it. So it wasn't money on the spot. Yeah, man. But I don't take you guys taking our time to be with us. Having just learn. Sometimes we learn some things. Sometimes we just share some things. Sometimes I don't take it lightly because you could be doing anything else, but you're here with us. So I really appreciate it, man. And I don't take any of you guys for granted, man. I appreciate and love each and every one of you. Shout out to Drew. Shout out to Big Five. Shout out to Beverly Tucker. Shout out to Lamar Moose. Shout out to Toshiba Johnson. Shout out to Nicole Walker. I'm just naming some of the ones that's always Big Ant. Shout out to Ant. People that's been really rocking with me week in, week out since the beginning of the show. Hot Rod, my boy Rodney. Rodney, Rodney had hit me up. Rodney be overseas working, doing this security thing, and he's still tapping on the show. So I don't take it for granted, man. I appreciate you, man. Um, Even last week, he hit me. He was overseas somewhere. No, he's in Dallas. Like, yo, bro, It's 8 o'clock. I ain't see you on. I was just making sure everything was good. You know what I'm saying? But I really appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. So I appreciate it. Drew said the neighbors came over to get their money.
Man, this thing is crazy, man. My mechanic, man. My mechanic doing stuff for me. Give me this last question, man. These niggas got jokes and shit. Next, I'm not coming with a bunch of questions next time. I'm coming with my bag of jokes. This last one. What would like your advice for the people that want to start a podcast show?
Drew
And
said
then, and then after that, and then that,
Alexander most every day.
what do you say?
He said Velsberg was Lincoln versus Alexander almost every day. Hot Rod was a
Lincoln.
trip at Velsberg. Yeah. Yeah, I ain't
Four
gonna
people,
go to none of
three,
them
four people
schools.
from Lincoln. Like 3, 4 people from Lincoln up used to come over there. Nah, it's mostly Alexander, Sunset, and like further down, Grant. You know, them jokers, but probably like I don't know who came from Lincoln though. I'm trying to think who was from Lincoln.
Yeah, Lincoln had a
Maybe
whole
the
different
Blakely.
setup because I know one thing that we used to do, like I said, we don't know they no names, but I used to love like when we had snow days and we couldn't snow. What we would do is we would go put our own lock on Lincoln. Like, some of me and my football
Yeah.
players, we would put our own padlock on Lincoln. You know what I mean? Where the
Uh-huh.
city couldn't do it. And we would wait till the snow build up. And then we'd meet out there, let's say 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, 3 feet of snow, and go out there and play football. Yo, you hit a joke and he just slide 5 to 10 yards, yo. It used to be so much fun, yo.
That's how
So
Joe was playing back in back of Ballin, playing football and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
That
I'm
was
telling you,
before that though.
that
Yeah.
was the days. But to your question, somebody that wanted to start a podcast or a show, what would be my advice to them? Hey, do it with blind faith, yo. Just do it with blind faith. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. I was just watching that the other day. Happy Gilmore. But now, all
Do it for
jokes
the
aside,
love, not the like.
that's it, man. You have nothing to, you don't have nothing to fear but fear yourself. You got to start somewhere. So I would just encourage you to, really step out there, know that you're and be prepared for whatever. Some people might not find you interesting. Some people might not find you dry. They don't think you had no sense of humor. Everybody doesn't have a personality for that platform. But if you really have a passion about it or doing it, whether it be gardening, it could be about being a chef, whatever you want to do a show or whatever you're passionate about, go ahead and step out on it. You know what I mean? Because like I said earlier, there's something for everybody. You know what I mean? Think about it. We got over 1,000. Remember, I used to tell people all the time in a joking way, but I'll be dead serious. Like, remember when TV used to go off like from 2 to 5 o'clock in the morning? Like, TV actually went off. We only had 3
Black
channels.
screen.
We remember when Fox started. There was no Fox. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Now you got the military channel. Now you got ID channel. Now you got do it yourself channel. You got all these the Food Network. So there's enough for everybody to get something. You know what I mean? Whatever you're passionate about. It could be gardening. Other people that ain't in the garden, I don't know nothing about gardening or tools or whether to go to Lowe's or Home Depot or pottery class or all whatever. Hey,
I got
whatever
my
you're,
cannas back there.
huh?
I got my flowers back there, my cannas. Niggas is
uh,
hating. Niggas feeling it.
Juice
Electricity.
said Lincoln people went to Wellsburg, Bell. The funny thing was we started fighting following those before us. This was like up the hill versus the blocks from Sunset to Cedar.
Yeah, but I never even balled up in Velsburg and shit. I never went to Lincoln. I want nothing, Juice. I can't even speak on it. The battles was like Alexander, Sunset, and them super teams that we had to go against every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'd
Yeah,
be
like
like me.
that's how it kind of was up the hill because you had like Rich Lou Terrace or some playing some cats from Ivy Hill. Like it was the same thing up there, just that they ain't ventured down to Alexander.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Just like you said, Alexander ain't venture up to Lincoln. You know what I mean? We all had
Nah,
our own
I
regulars.
wasn't walking up there anyway. I'm on the block. I'm walking 2 minutes.
Exactly.
Walking
What
all the
you
way up to
go to
Lincoln.
anywhere for? You right there.
You know these niggas.
Yo, who this nigga? Exactly.
That's just
Who
the
you,
problem. That's
who
the
you with,
problem way
yo?
to start.
Yeah, who you with?
That's what it is. That's what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. Who these niggas and shit? I was back then and shit. And
Uh-huh.
that's only like 10 minutes away. Like who? But that's like a whole.
Exactly.
That's like another neighborhood. It's 10 minutes
Yeah.
away walking, but it's another neighborhood. That's what it is and shit.
And that's why I try to tell people about Newark. It's like hard to describe sometimes. Like I got this other chick, she from 16th Street. Not 16th Ave, but 16th Street that I work with. They be like, oh, they hear that we were from the same city. And I'm like, yo, so y'all from the same place? Like, nah, not really. Like, we from the same
No,
city. But I can't tell you nothing about 16th Street.
ain't going there, 16th Street.
I'll go.
That's
I have no
another
reason to go
neighborhood.
over there. It's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
Up
totally
here,
different.
down here.
Over there by West Side Park,
Yeah, exactly.
I ain't going over there. I used to
Ain't
go to
gonna lie.
grade school over there.
And Shabazz, I ain't got nothing. I ain't never going over to Elizabeth Avenue unless it's to go to White Castle or wherever.
Yeah,
So
especially back then. Maybe now a different generation, but back then, hell no. That's nah. Jokers knew better. Unless you go and
Drew
visit
said,
somebody.
Drew said, if you go up there, you better be ready to run too.
Never. That's what I'm saying. Like,
So
why
ain't
am
no
I coming out
way.
there?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need to exercise. I'm gonna play ball, run up and down the court for 3 hours, and these niggas gonna chase me home. I don't need to
Yeah,
exercise. It's too much shit.
yeah, man,
Got on
that's crazy.
basketball shoes.
Yeah, well, man, we gonna get up
Basketball
out of
shoes.
here, man. What did you have before we get up out of here?
What you say now?
I said we gonna get out of here soon. Like, what else you had before we got up out of here?
Nah, I'm just gonna congratulate you on the 6 years, and I'm congratulating you on the next 15 years.
Now, good to me.
I,
21 years,
yeah,
baby.
yeah, and yeah. Let me know. I host the next anniversary and shit. Let me get my Ted Brokaw on and shit. I'll be more prepared and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Salute
I
to you, my
appreciate
brother.
you doing this
Salute to
too,
you.
man. I appreciate you, man, because I have reached out
Oh
to
no,
this young lady to do it, and she was like, she's like, I would be honored to do it, but I think that I think you should get somebody that knows you better, because we kind of just got familiar with each other, whatever else. And she was like, I just think that it would be more fitting for somebody that. And I said that's normally what I do. I was just trying to do something different this year. I said, you know what? I said, let me holler at Bell. You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah, that's a definite. You know I was gonna say yeah. What do you mean holler? You know I wasn't gonna say no. Or or or, oh, on that note, the name Messi. You leave it on that note. You want to leave it on that note and tell them how you got the name, how you got that nickname, Messi Marv.
No doubt, no doubt. Man, it's like this. To be honest, I done had so many different nicknames over the years, but for some
That's the
reason,
Alexander one. That's the
Messi is the
Alexander
one
one.
that stuck. And I think ain't nobody responsible for Messi other than Jake. I'm not sure, but I'm almost certain. I'm almost positive it was Jake that gave you that name. Yo, what's up, Messi? Yo, what's up, man? It just stuck. So it went from him calling me Messi to everybody calling me Messi, and I just
Everybody.
last 20 years.
It's a double M. It's a double M and shit.
So shout out to Jake. And I always try to tell people too when they hear like Messi, they call you Messi. I say, yeah, but believe me, it ain't cause I'm Messi.
Like that.
I don't do Messi, yo. But Messi Marv I am, yo.
Salute to that man. Beautiful evening, man. Beautiful evening. In my yard and my neighbor's yard and using the electricity and them hating ass niggas.
Drew said, nah, we want to know about Messi Marv, man. That look,
You gotta ask my brother. You gotta ask my brother on
listen, that's it, yo. Hey, what they used to say back in the day, the game was supposed to be told, not sold. You know what I mean?
it.
That's why I
Nah,
always
it
try
be
to tell people.
sold, not told. You gotta sell it, yo.
Yeah. So I
You
always
gotta
try to
sell
tell
it.
people, and that's why I always laugh too about these days in this day and age with these podcasts and whatnot. Like I'll be seeing Dame Dash and all these other ones on all these different platforms now. I'm like, I miss the days where if you know, as they say now, if you know, you know. Like now, Joker's getting up here telling everything. Like some things just ain't supposed to stay told. Like keep them guessing. Like
Yeah.
I always think about it. I said, I think about. I said when I think about people outside of my ex-wife, I'm like the only two people that I always got to be absolutely on my P's and Q's with is you and Rock, because y'all know where all the bodies is buried. Y'all know where all the bodies is buried.
And they're going to stay there.
Exactly. So
yeah, right there.
Messy Marv is Messy Marv, man. It's the same dude that you know. I just accepted God into my life. That was the major change. But it's all love. You know what I mean? It's all love, man. Been through some things, but God brought us all through. Like right before we go, man, it's like I remember the first time I flew back the Jersey when I was living in Little Rock. And I got there around the same time that, all our other co-workers was getting off. And it was funny, like, I stopped by to talk to a few of them, and I remember hearing this one dude, like, oh man, that's him? That's him? Oh man, yo. Dude, it baffles me how many variations of stories that they tell about us out there. And nobody was there but me and you.
That's the talk. That's how the legend grows and shit like that.
So
it's just the same.
That's it. I never confirm or deny. I'm gonna let y'all tell whatever y'all want to tell.
Y'all fill in the blank.
Know what happened, and only I know what happened.
I don't talk about none of this shit. I don't talk about none of this stuff. It can stay where it's at. I don't talk about none of that stuff. It is what it is. Y'all fill in the blanks.
All I tell people all the time is, listen, I got a reason I would never go back to the state of Texas. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't going to no Cowboy games. I'm not going nowhere near the state of Texas, Joe. I'm just
Texas, the state. Oh yeah. I don't know no Texas. I only like flying over it, man. Emergency landings and shit. Like I don't. Let that shit be, yo. Let that shit be. That's why I hate the Cowboys.
Well, man, yeah, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I thank you again, Bell, for taking out the time to do this, man. I appreciate you all. Y'all keep coming up with these great. Y'all gave me some good, nice suggestions too, man. And like I said, just anybody y'all want to see on the show, anybody that y'all want to see guest host or come on the show with me, man. Tell them to reach out to me, or y'all play the middleman or whatever case. Let it be happening, man. This is an open forum for everybody, bro. Like I said, a lot of people think that we got to know each other personally and all that. Like, nah, I've had people on the show plenty of times that I ain't never even met them before. You know what I mean? Or like even Tanya Help. Shout out to Tanya. Beautiful young lady. She came on a couple of shows ago, and she's coming back on. She said that she wanted to come back on. Matter of fact, she just got a book that came out, so probably have her on real soon so we can talk about her book. But she said somebody that I met on social media and reached out to her, asked if she wanted to do the show. She was like, sure. You know what I mean? So we don't have to know each other personally. Anybody that's watching on YouTube and find it interesting and want to come up here and talk about anything, reach out to me. All my information is on the YouTube channel page. And get back at me, hit me up, and I'll get back to you.
And salute anybody watching this. Don't forget Cash at $6 or Zelle $6.
No doubt. I appreciate it, man.
Happy anniversary, my brother.
Man, I appreciate it, man. Love you, bro.
Love you too.
All you guys, man. As I tell you guys every single week, man, this has been another epic show. Great. I thank you guys for your company. As usual. Reach out to somebody this week that you haven't reached out to in quite a while. You know what I mean? Whether you shoot them a text, whether you shoot them a phone call, because tomorrow is not promised to any of us. Let's stop taking life for granted. You never know the difference that you'll make in somebody's day. That just hey, shout out to who was it? Narissa Waterman. I spoke to her not too long ago, and she was like, you know, you still in touch with Bell? Like, it's crazy how people remember people's. When I reached out to her, I'm like, you probably don't even remember me. She's like, of course I remember you. I was an underclassman. I'm like, I never thought that she remember me. But you know, it'll bad for you how the difference that it'll make when you just reach out to people randomly. You know, shout out to Hector Martinez. That's our boy.
Yeah, and Hector, my graduate. Hector's my year.
Yeah,
Graduated with me. Yeah, other part of Alexander. He lives on the other side of Alexander.
Yeah. So, you know, be mindful of that and make it, you know, you never know how it might make a difference in somebody's life, man. Shout out to Rock. I was saying earlier, shout out to Roxanne Eli too. Roxanne, she's been going through, you know, different health things going on, but she's always been a faithful supporter of the show. So shout her out too. Keep her always in your prayers. But I love you all. You guys have a safe, productive week. We'll be back next week. Not sure who's gonna be the guest yet or what the topic will be yet, but stay tuned this week. And as usual, in signing off, DeAndre and Lysa, know that Daddy loves you intentionally, but I also love you unconditionally. Till next week, peace.
Right on, right.